Hello YouTube, welcome to my first ever League video. I've decided to start a video series where I VOD review my games on Tristana. I'm a one-trick Tristana player. I peaked Diamond 2 in Season 13, um, and I'm trying to get back to Diamond. I know that they've since added Emerald and a lot has changed in the game in the last 2 years, and I am just trying to keep up with all the changes, come back to the game. And in the past, I've kind of tended to plateau because I don't really review my games. I tend to autopilot and just spam games. So this VOD review is kind of multi-purpose. The first purpose is for myself, to just guide my improvement and try and become better at the game, at my one-trick champion, and also just for you guys, maybe one day down the road, some one-trick Gistrana players find this channel and find it educational. So without further ado, let's just get into the review. Just a brief introduction to this game. I recently went on a 9-game loss streak, and the VOD that we're going to be reviewing is the first game of that loss streak. And I think this really tilted me because I've, by my perception, quite well in this game, and I thought that we should have won it. And I do tend to go on tilt sprees when I play really well in a game and lose it anyway. And as you can see, it got worse from there. I had another nice game, 11 and 4, followed by a high death game, and then a bunch of games where I kind of just did nothing, as you can see. So I want to see what went wrong in this very first game. See, even though I feel like I played well, see if there's anything I could have done better. So let's get into it. So just to pause on the champions really quickly, let's see who we have in this game. So my support is a Blitzcrank, and we're against Senna ADC with Bard support. So we should have a pretty strong lane because Senna and Bard are both pretty immobile. Shouldn't be too difficult for Blitzcrank to land some good hooks, which he did in this lane. It's mid is Annie versus Veigar. Jungle Shinzao versus Jarvan. And then Garen versus Darius in the top lane. So nothing too crazy. Both jungles can gank early before level 6. So both sides need to respect the jungle. We do want to keep the wave on our side of the lane, probably because Senna and Bard are going to be pretty scared to walk up if the wave is close to our tower. Let's go ahead and see if that's how the lane plays out. So I did ward the mid push at level 1, which gives us a slight advantage if they try and utilize that mid bush. I don't believe that they warded it, otherwise we would have pinged it. Bard misses stun, Senna misses W, so Senna didn't even take Q, so I take no damage from this trade. It's a pretty great trade. And a nice hook from the Blitz as well. Now I was a little bit confused by this, why Blitz walked up, because he didn't use his hook. He may as well have thrown out his hook after he got stunned, but he didn't. Now it's already time to start thinking about the jungler. I don't think I actually was in this game though. Shinzao is bot, but so is Jarvan most likely. So we need to be thinking about where Jarvan is, maybe putting a ward down. Of course I don't have a ward, I don't know if Blitz does. But I'm never too scared of a gank if I have my jump up and flash. But I'm about to do something pretty ill-advised. So we do get the kill here, but if Jarvan had been sitting there waiting in that tri-bush, that might not have worked out so well. And he does turn out to be here, so we are going to both end up dying for this because I wasn't thinking about it. And because we're under their tower, of course, Jarvan gets here before our own jungler. So wasn't really playing the matchup out the way that it theoretically should be played. Of course, I say that you want to have the wave on your side. It's a little bit easier said than done as Tristana because you do auto push with your E. So if you do want to engineer a wave on your side situation, you want to slow build a wave if you can by zoning the enemy with your Blitzcrank hook, crash the big wave, recall, and then when you come back, the wave will be pushing towards you. Of course, in that situation, then by that point, your jungler would already be top again. So it's just one of the limitations of Tristana. You do want to have the wave on your side in an ideal case, but I think at the least I should have just been more aware that the enemy jungler was going to come in that situation. And maybe not jumped on their face and tried to tower dive the Bard. But it worked out okay. I come out with 3 kills. Where did the third kill actually come from? I think I might have missed it. Oh, yeah, I don't know what Senna was doing here. She probably didn't realize I could reach her from over the wall. I missed the auto there. That's pretty bad. Also, my farm is quite low. Let me go back and see if I missed a wave anywhere. So after getting this kill, the wave is going to get crashed, but I think I should get this wave. Oh, the reason I didn't get the wave, I passed the wave to kill Senna. So I did mess out on a full wave, and I haven't been last hitting that well, if you've noticed. It's my first game of the day, I think. No, it's not my first game. I think I just sometimes have issues with last hitting. That's definitely something to work on, even especially when they're free. I'm not being pressured at all this game to get last hits. I do really need to prioritize getting the wave in. Roaming mid is a low percentage play, so I wasted a little bit of time looking mid, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. It doesn't hurt to look. I'm telling Jarvan to play around bot because, I mean, this is probably unnecessary. To be honest, I probably shouldn't have said anything because telling people how to play generally makes them unhappy. But it is true that that Xin Zhao should play around bot because top has died now, mid is dead, jungle died once, bot lane is the only winning lane. I'm looking here to see if I can help. It should be a 3v3 with Blitz dead and Jarvan dead, but they back off. There's nothing to get there. I do lose some minions for that, um, so not the greatest. And at this point, as you can see, Blitzen is instigating a fight in chat. Uh, I, I probably should have muted these people, like all 3 of them, as soon as this kind of argument happened. This maybe contributed to the tilt. I don't know why I didn't mute them. But definitely something to do next time. It's just mute. Whenever people start becoming, uh, coming in with their hindsight judgments, just mute them. It's a waste of time. Because the same situation is not going to repeat itself within the same game, so there's no reason to discuss it. I'm recalling here. I don't know. No, I'm not recalling. We get Senna's Flash here, which is good before the dragon. Now, I, okay. Something to notice here. As soon as I see this, you know, we can know that the jungle is here for sure. Because there's really no reason why they would be chasing us other than if Jarvan is here. They don't even have level 6, I'm level 6. So that's why I immediately start running back instead of fighting them. It is pretty instructive, I think. Um, there's a lot of situations where you think they're just trolling, but this is pretty obvious. They just run at you when they're weaker. I'm so much stronger than them, so there's just no question that the jungler's here. So because we ran backwards, we were able to avoid getting killed by the jungler. We even kept our flash, which is great. Dragon is up. But I do have to recall. I do feel like I have to recall, it seems like, because I'm pretty low on mana and health. So if I can sneak in a recall before the dragon fight, that would be ideal, but I'm not sure if it's realistic. In any case, I should probably be conserving mana as much as I can. To be honest, in this situation, Senna shouldn't necessarily let me clear the wave. I'm so low on mana that I don't think I can kill her anymore. She could probably zone me off the wave and prevent me from crashing it. But she doesn't. And our mid is dead. I mean, their mid is dead. So we could have potentially done the dragon there, even though I was low. That would have been a good time to recall. If we had done the dragon and I recalled after. But now it's a little awkward because um, if they're um, I don't know what's the word, but if they're conscious that we're doing the dragon, they could potentially come and contest it. I guess they didn't want to, but we only had two people on the dragon that whole time, so it was a little bit risky for me to base there. I probably should have just helped them finish the dragon and then base. Now, this is a pretty good play that I'm making with Blitz here, is to get deep vision in their jungle. We already have excellent vision here, so we're pretty safe in doing this. But now, like, we have their entire bot jungle warded, and vision is very, very underrated, I think, in all elos. I think it's not something that's talked about enough. Um, Not really much going on there. It's just something to do while we wait for the wave to come back to us. Arguably, we should have just pushed that wave out so that we had priority to go roam with our jungler. But it works out anyway just because we have so much vision. Bard doesn't know our jungler's in there. He's on a control ward that Blitz put down. So he's just going to get killed here. Yeah. So that vision that I called for me and Blitz to go place, directly resulted in a kill. Um, Now this is pretty illegal by the Jarvan. All four of us are in our jungle. But he gets out though with a flash. I'm surprised he was able to get away with that kill. And then Vigar 2 flashes. And then even Bard gets out. So kind of unlucky we didn't get any kills there, but they burned a bunch of flashes for that. Again, pretty bad CSing. I missed a melee for no reason. We know Jarvan's here because the Scuttle Crab was just killed. He's probably recalling, but So we do have a window to do something if we wanted to. I'm a little bit afraid to walk up though with Blitz roaming. I'm not sure if recalling is the best idea here because although it is a cannon wave, they are able to clear it very quickly at this stage of the game, 12 minutes in. So I'm not sure I can get back to that cannon. Yeah, I pretty much missed this entire wave because I recalled. So pretty bad recall there. Bard is roaming, so that's why I'm looking for an angle on Senna. And we do have a pretty good vision on their jungle. Not too worried about Jarvan right now. Jarvan is top, so this is quite free if Blitz lands the hook, which he does. But the Bard ult is nice. It saves her. Actually, it doesn't save her. We're just too fed, I think. Bard ult is one of those things that's hard for me to account for because there's many ways that it can screw up your plan, especially later on in the game. Like specifically when you jump in expecting to one-shot somebody and then you just don't because of Bard, and then you don't get your W reset and then you die. There's not a whole lot of champions that, I mean, I guess there's like just Zhonya's. I do watch out for Zhonya's, but for some reason, whenever there's a Bard in the game, I don't think about his ult that much. Because Bard does need to be around. It does have a very long range, but it is essentially a Zhonya's. It's difficult to play around because I think I associate Zhonya's with the item, not a champion. But that's something I can be better on. Now Dragon is up, so I just want to push and to get the drag. I don't think they can contest this because we are very fed at the moment. Although I am low, so Bar's gonna flash to just chunk me. Mm. So this does work out because Blitz landed that hook, but meanwhile they're 2v2 on the dragon, so they're not able to utilize me in that fight. So thankfully it does work out for them. I didn't really watch how they won that fight, but it was kind of a smart play from the Bard to take me out by just flashing on me and give because their mid jungle is a lot more even than their bot lane. So it makes sense to just neutralize me and Blitz in the dragon fight. But somehow it works out. In the future, I really need to be thinking about my recalling sooner. Like the right here, I know I was thinking about recalling here, but a fight's already starting, so I couldn't complete the recall. The dragon is up too soon. I probably should have just recalled on the previous wave. But this has been a good wave to recall. Well, the problem was that Bard was holding the wave. I think that's probably why I canceled this recall. Yeah, but I didn't even end up doing anything about it because I can't. My support isn't here, so I really should have just recalled instead of pushing another wave. It's pretty bad. But it works out. So that is one theme of this VOD so far is poor recall timings. Again, I kind of want to recall because I'm low. And Annie is also running mid here. So again, possibly should just have recalled. Not much I can do to help him here. I can't help Blitz either. If I had recalled and come out of base, then I could. Thankfully, Annie went bot, but very bad recalls this game, I think. I don't know what this guy's doing. Yeah, they're just messing around with the Blitzcrank under his tower. So I'm 9-1, and I believe I end this game 11-4, and it's a loss. So let's see how I throw the game from here. There's really no reason that this game should be losing. But already I think this was the first play that is the beginning of the end. So first of all, Bard and Vigar are dead, which is why I decide to hit the tower. I'm like, okay, there's only 3 of them left. They can't kill me. It's Darius. Who was it? Darius, Shinzao, and Senna. And Shinzao is kind of the only one who can reach me with his W, I believe. But I believe that we know that they're top, do we? Because we see the Rift Herald get, yeah, we see the Herald is done by them. So they're all top. Senna and Jarvan at least are top. They're assisting the Herald. We don't know where Darius is, but we can assume that he's probably also top for the Herald. And I feel like I'm safe hovering top though because of all our vision there. But I see Darius there, so now I know all 3 of them are top. I should be hovering towards the bot lane. And this doesn't seem like a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal in this game because like they're all dead, right? But we get TP'd on here by Vigar, and then I end up having to flash. So now I'm down a flash, and then there's this red buff here, and I'm gonna get killed. So this I think is where I started to become tilted. I don't want to dwell too much on this play because, for time's sake, but I think I was not, after this, looking at where the enemies were. So I see Veigar and Darius look like they're leaving, but Darius is actually coming back into the jungle. Again, he leave and come back. So, and we haven't seen Jarvan. So Jarvan was last seen right here. He's coming into our jungle. He doesn't leave. Darius, Veigar leave. Darius come back. So Darius and J4 are still in the area as of right now. So we don't know like where is J4, but I wasn't really thinking about this. I feel like I see 4 people on the bottom, four teammates in the area. So I don't expect to be getting one shot. Um, and I really don't expect him to just be sitting in that bush. I really, really didn't expect this. Um, and to be honest, I could have gotten out of this probably if I had ulted the Darius instead of the Jarvan, because Jarvan is not as big of a damage threat as Darius. I can kind of tank him for a couple melees. This is already after his ult damage. He's not going to do that much damage to me compared to the Darius at least. So I could have ulted the Darius away. Blitzcrank could have flashed out and hooked the Jarvan to get off of me and kill the Jarvan under tower. So I still probably could have got out of this, but because I wasn't expecting it, I didn't really have the foresight to make that play. Um, Arguably because it just looked visually like everyone was leaving the jungle. It looks kind of like, okay, Jarvan is there, he's gone. Rygar's gone, Darius is gone. Okay, I'm fine. So I can just take the red buff and leave. But Um, but no. And then I believe I have a pretty huge shutdown here, so Darius is going to get fed off of this. He's got 1,000 gold from that kill. And he's 5-1 now. So, and in general, Darius isn't too big of a problem, I find, on Tristana, unless he has flash. But it's still not great um, that I died there. And yeah, so that really did tilt me because I was just wasn't expecting it. That's when I tend to get tilted, is when I get killed and I'm not expecting it. Because I feel like, the enemy's kind of outsmarted me. So at this stage of the game, it's just about objectives, trying to get the farm. I am farming mid here instead of bot lane instead of mid lane, as ADC typically does. I feel a lot more comfortable side laning on Tristana than probably a lot of other people feel on other ADCs. Tristana just has great escape. So if the mid laner is in a mobile mage like an Annie, I don't feel too bad about being in the side lane. Annie's also a great roamer, especially if she has flash up, so I don't mind just leaving her in the mid lane sometimes. Same way for other mobile mages. Sometimes I just like to let them keep mid if I feel relatively safe in the side. And there's not like one important thing about this game too is there's not any assassins. Honestly the scariest person in this game might just be the Bard. If I'm sitting in a side lane farming and Bard just ults me, gives their team like 5 seconds to catch up to me. Now this fight right here is over the dragon. Mm, Darius is kind of flanking us from behind. So Sen is in mid lane. So we're kind of getting sandwiched right here, which makes me pretty uncomfortable. I'm not quite sure where's the best place to position. I'm trying to get to the other side of my team. I jump across so that my team is between me and the enemy, but I think the reason we lost this fight was because, first of all, Garen's not even here. Darius flanked us from behind, so I just had to spend my entire time repositioning instead of... So, I'm not really sure there's too much I could have done here. Let me go back even earlier to the dragon setup. Um, we do have pretty decent vision in their jungle. Our team is recalling. They want to recall. I'm guessing they have some gold on them. So maybe that was part of the problem. But we are on vision on the scuttle vision. And Garen, I have no idea. This is kind of on Garen, to be honest. I can't really attack there because because of the flank angle. And then, Bliss just gets one shot. Garen's not here, so it's a 3v5 at this point. It's just over. I can kind of get them off of me and survive, but there's not much more I can do. So that's okay. But we do lose the dragon. And they're going straight into Otacon now. Garen's still top. So I don't think we can really do anything about this either. I try and auto them, but Xinjiao's just too late. I mean, not by his fault. He was running from base, but... So we lose Otacon as well. This is just kind of unlucky. I think most of this was snowball from Garen not being with us. It doesn't help that he has, I believe, Ignite over TP. So I imagine our entire team is pretty tilted too by losing those objectives. I actually don't know how many dragons each team has right now. I'm gonna wait to see if we tab. So the state of the game now is that we have 2 dragons. We're 2 away from the soul instead of 1. Garen is really kind of gapped by the Darius. Um, and we're still extremely strong. Um, But they do have a lot of potential to just kill me. Like if Darius has flash, if Jarvan can kind of get on me, even without flash, he can EQ into ult me. Veigar has pretty long range, and I'm always kind of scared of walking in auto range of him because of the cage. I do have a hard time dodging the cage. It's very hard to predict, when he's going to use it because he does outrange me, with the cage. Senna I'm not really scared of, and of course the Bard ults. So, and if Garen isn't planning on like frontlining for us, then I mean Shinzao's kind of nice, but he's not really a front line on his own, you know. And then Annie's very flash reliant, so if we don't have Annie flash, we really have no way of fighting. Um, I mean, we should be okay with the Garen there. I do feel like I kill Darius before Senna kills Garen with how fed I am. So theoretically, we're still in a great position. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure I kill Darius as easily as I think I do. He does have a Randuin's, which reduces crit damage taken, and the tier 2, the feats of strength boots, the armor boots. So it may be easier to kill him than harder to kill him, sorry, than I'm making it out to be. We'll see how much damage I'm doing to him in the fights. I don't really remember at this point. I'm not doing much to him, to be honest. I need at least my third item plus a last whisper, I think, to kill him. So at this point, I was thinking to myself, yeah, that's probably what I was thinking. I need to farm to my third item and last whisper. And we have time because they only have one dragon. Um, and I don't really think they have a great Baron. I mean, it's not slow Baron, but get a free kill there. And that's my last kill of the game. I end the game 11 and 4. But really, at this point, I just want to farm. I mean, it's crazy that I need that much farm to. Well, Darius is pretty fed. If he wasn't fed, then he wouldn't have a Randuin and Hysterics and the tier 3 boots, but yeah, Darius is the number one problem right now. Just need to itemize to kill him. I think that did Blitz flash? That was a terrible flash for a support. Yeah, terrible flash. Baron is now up, Dragon's up, but it's not Soul, so the fight will probably be over the Baron. Now Shinzao's this is not a good angle. I remember this. I can't really auto the Senna here, else the Jarvan is gonna go on me. He's gonna turn on me. If I auto the Jarvan, I don't know why I ulted him away. But I knew that Darius was also top. Yeah, so I knew Darius was top. That's what really concerned me, wasn't the Jarvan, but also the Darius was coming from top. So I felt if I allow Jarvan to ult me, then Darius will also be on top of me very soon. There's Darius on the map. I ult him, that's why I think I ult him away, because I know Darius is coming too. And just like last time in the bush, Jarvan and Darius team up on me and one-shot me. So, um, and again, our front line is not here. Our Garen is bot lane. Xin Zhao's not a real front line by himself. Um, so this is just really not a great fight angle. Annie's kind of caught too. She's frontlining right now. But yeah, that's what happens. Honestly, I do maybe think I could have done more. Like I was playing maybe too scared here. Um, because I do think this is kind of the game-losing fight. Maybe not game-losing. Maybe I could have. I mean, I do have flash, so and I do have jump. So yeah, maybe I should just continue autoing Jarvan instead of being super scared of him here. I am scared of the Darius, true, but I can flash the Jarvan ult, and then I can W out. I don't know if Darius has flash. I have to assume that he does, but I mean, it is a fight for the Baron, so I do know that losing this fight means that we probably lose the Baron, or at least a Dragon. So in that case, you could argue that I should kind of just go all in and see if my damage is enough to kill this Jarvan, outplay the Jarvan ult and the Darius with the W, the R, and the flash. But this is a very just uncomfortable fight. Uh, Regardless, it's a hard fight I think to win because we're getting flanked and our Garen is just not here. So I mean, to be fair, they didn't have their Veigar either, but I do feel for me, I really rely on having a front, like someone in front of me to eat the dangerous stuff. But really, it's probably a combination of the fight was not a great angle, and I probably could have played it a little bit better, a little bit more on the knife's edge, I guess you could say. I mean, at the end of the day, if the Darius wants to flash for me, then like make him flash, if I don't know. We're gonna lose the Baron either way, like if I just run away from the fight, so. Yeah, definitely should have muted this team. I mute them now. Probably a little bit too late, but better late than never. Let's see how I die the next two times. Okay, this is another death. I'm not sure how I died here. I am with my team. Yep, a Bard ult. Oh, and then this is a really annoying thing about Bard ult is that it cancels your jump. This is a pretty huge mistake. I always do this though. I always try and think that I can buffer the Bard ult with a W. I guess I just forget or panic. I forget that you can't buffer it. And so that's what gets me killed. I mean, if I had if I had my jump, it's possible. First of all, I should have just flashed the Bartle instead of jumping it. I mean, there's a couple things to talk about here. First of all, yes, I should just flash the Bartle, knowing that the W will be canceled. Possibly, I don't even need to flash it. I could just juke it. I wasn't expecting it, which makes it harder to dodge. Like, it kind of just hit me before I even realized that it was there. It's funny because if I hadn't even, the W animation kind of stopped me from walking. It's possible if I just kept walking, I would have even made it out. Um, but you know, worst case, if you're not certain, just flash it. But I was not expecting him to be there. I'm not sure if we saw him. I'm not sure if we even knew that he was bot. Yeah, he was bot way back here, but I wasn't exactly paying attention to where he was. But this was just pretty unfortunate by me to get caught like this. There's a lot of ways that I could have not got caught. Just walk out of it, just flash it, or even if I didn't do either of those two things, if I just held my W, then I would have also got out. Um, if I had just flashed W, maybe could escape. And barrier too. And ult. But yeah, I mean, one thing about Bard ult too is that a lot of times as you're getting hit by the ult, like kind of as obvious to say, but it doesn't do any damage, right? So it doesn't really feel that scary when you're about to get hit by a Bard. It's like, oh, okay, I'm getting Bard ulted. Everything's gonna freeze and then I'm just gonna escape once it's over. You don't really feel like I didn't feel like I was in danger like the instant I got Bard ulted, right? So sometimes your instinct tells you, see, there's nobody on my screen right now. So I feel there's no way I'm gonna get killed and there's two of my teammates in front of me. And I know that all their scary people are in mid lane. But yeah, it's a very deceptive ult. I have to. I was talking about the Bard ult earlier too. I do feel it's something I need to be more scared of. I don't think of it like I think of a Jarvan EQ or Jarvan ult or like a Malphite ult, but I mean, it is just deceptively. It's scarier than it looks, basically. A lot of time because you know you zone yourself to save yourself, but Bard zone you to kill you. It's just kind of counterintuitive. Oh, oh, that was pretty troll. Didn't realize that Darius was gonna get the heal from the Q. I don't know Darius that well. He got the heal. I was expecting to one-shot him with the R. I probably didn't even need to R him, to be honest. Probably should have just kept autoing him. And I died this one last time, defending the Nexus. But yeah, so there is a lot to learn from this game, I think. First of all, just going back to my deaths, review my deaths. The first time I died was getting a little bit overzealous in lane, not thinking about the Jarvan at about 3 minutes into the game when he's going to be level 3, level 4. Ends up getting me killed. This one wasn't too bad because in lane it's not so bad to trade kill with something like a Senna, because I would rather, like, if I'm going to trade 1-for-1 kill with Senna, it's usually worth it because I feel I have an easier time killing her than she does killing me. She's immobile, so she's easy to jump on. So this is okay, but I mean, the result was okay, but I'm not happy that I wasn't thinking about the jungler. Next death was quite a bit later on. I think it was the catch from mid lane with the Jarvan and Darius. Around here. Yeah, we're hitting the mid lane turret. Their whole team is top, but I'm hovering top. Should be hovering bot. Wasn't thinking about potential for getting flanked with the Veigar TP. But if I had been cheating towards bot, maybe this would have been less close. I'm not sure. It's possible I still would have had to flash even if I was hovering bot, but regardless, I should hover bot next time if I know that they're all top. They just did the Rift Herald. Then here, you know, anytime you have no vision, even if it's your jungle, you gotta think about who could possibly be there. And if I had been watching the map more closely, granted it would be hard to watch it after I just got, kind of after that scare, but it's pretty clear that Jarvan is still here, Darius is still here. So next time I'll know to ult the Darius away instead of the Jarvan. Darius is the higher damage threat, and also to probably just path differently without vision and knowing that the enemies could be in the jungle. But yeah, that was a very tilting play. Even now I'm still tilted that I got caught by that. Because I'm usually pretty good at looking at the map and taking safe pathing, but they outsmarted me there. My third death was... yeah, here. The Bard ult. So yeah, um, we already talked about this. No need to harp on it further. But I think the main things to learn from this game are number one, respecting the Bard ult a little bit more. Um, Thinking about the enemy jungler in the lane, and also the bad recalls. There were very bad recalls this game. I should recall probably like a minute before Dragon, 2 waves before Dragon, be out on the map with the team, so I'm not like out of mana, out of health. I had probably 2 or 3 really bad recalls, or really bad overstays, to where I felt not comfortable hopping with Dragon or some other objective. So yeah, sorry if this went a bit long, but just learning how to do this. Kind of the first in-depth VOD review I've ever done. I do want to start doing it. It was pretty fun actually, cause I did remember the deaths and stuff like dying to the Bartle, dying to the um to the Jarvan and Darius, but I didn't really think about the recalls. I didn't really think about Bartle. Um, it's always kind of been something that's a problem for me, but don't really think about it without looking at the VOD more carefully. So thanks for watching, and I'll probably come up with more of these if anyone who's watching wants to leave a comment, um, letting me know if you like this, if I could do it differently. Just let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I do want, again, I want the purpose of these videos to be educational for you, also for myself, to improve. So yeah, thanks for watching.